going forward with a new agent and golden dresses and all that, and she won't join. Annoying and hypocritical for a change is the fact that they said they're not going to talk about the royal. And Meghan thought it was hilarious and she began laughing, and then Melissa started laughing. Nothing wrong with.
What if I told you everything you think you know about Meghan Markle's rise to royalty might be missing a scandalous secret chapter? Oh yes, the fairy tale story you've heard. Small-town actress meets charming prince, big royal wedding, happily ever after. Well, let's just say that's not the whole picture. Whispers from her past hint at Vegas wedding chapels, mysterious missing years, and carefully erased family connections. According to sources close to her past, Meghan's journey isn't nearly as polished as the palace press releases would like us to believe. And trust me, if even half of these rumors are true, then Meghan's story is not only more complicated than we imagined, it could completely redefine who she really is.
Levin got called out for her hate towards Meghan.
You've just used the phrase, she is not fit.
Yes, you heard that right. If these allegations check out, Meghan's carefully crafted image wouldn't just be shaken, it would be completely transformed.
Angela, what has been going on? So start me at the beginning. Where should we go to first? Who should we start?
Well, we can talk about this.
And it all starts in the most unlikely place, Las Vegas. Picture this, a young Meghan, just 18, long before the cameras ever chased her. Instead of Hollywood premieres or glitzy galas, she's standing in a neon-lit Vegas wedding chapel, the kind with Elvis impersonators crooning in the background. And there beside her, a man named Joe Giuliano. But wait, this wasn't just some tipsy Vegas stunt. Oh no, people connected to both families insist this was a real, legitimate wedding. Vows, witnesses, and even paperwork to back it up. Imagine that. Meghan Markle, years before Harry, already someone's wife while her peers were barely filling out college applications.
I'm trying to keep this video under 5 minutes, but it's impossible, so there will be 2 parts.
According to these claims, this wasn't just symbolic. There was allegedly a real marriage certificate with Meghan's signature on it, making it all legal. And here's where it gets juicy. This so-called marriage didn't dissolve with a regular divorce like most teenage missteps.
Oh my goodness, royal watchers. Your friendly neighborhood royal commentator is back with some absolutely
No, Meghan's alleged first marriage supposedly ended with an annulment. Now that's no small detail. A divorce admits a marriage happened and ended, but an annulment, it wipes the slate clean, erases it as if it never existed. Nevada law makes it easier to bury those records, tucked away far from the public eye. For someone who fiercely guards her privacy, this was the perfect tool. But the big question is, why go the annulment route at all? Why not a simple, straightforward divorce? People familiar with the Giuliano family whisper that this wasn't random. It was deliberate, a sign of the extreme care being taken to control Meghan's story long before the spotlight ever found her. And as time went on, it seems this wasn't the only chapter of her life that would conveniently vanish from public view.
I want to talk to you about the last week or the last 10 days.
And here's what really makes people raise an eyebrow. This wasn't just erasing a teenage mistake. Choosing an annulment instead of divorce is a calculated move, suggesting the start of a pattern of quietly scrubbing details from her life, leaving behind a spotless image. And apparently, that annulled marriage certificate wasn't the only piece of Meghan's past that slipped into the shadows. What came next? Oh, buckle up, because things only get stranger.
She is Pat Tillman's mother. I'm going to respect her. He did not do that. Instead,
her official bio claims she took a gap year before college. You know, the trendy thing privileged students do: travel, volunteer abroad, find themselves. That's what we're told. But Meghan's so-called gap year, practically a blank spot. No records, no letters, no obvious paper trail of volunteering or studying abroad. Weird, right?
New picture has emerged of the children. Is this just a way to...
We're talking about the mid-90s here. True, there were no Instagram posts back then, but usually these experiences left footprints. Programs kept records, families remembered hosting students, friends recalled backpacking adventures. But when people try to piece together Meghan's gap year, they find nothing. Instead, whispers suggest she wasn't wandering Europe at all. The gossip says she spent that year not in glamorous cities like Amsterdam or Rome, but tucked away in Chicago, living a surprisingly quiet life. And here's what really gets tongues wagging. This wasn't just privacy. It felt like she was hiding in plain sight.
It was just a choice, right? I think that very early on when we realized we were going to commit
Neighbors and old connections recall Meghan pulling away completely from her California circle, almost vanishing. When she later popped up at Northwestern University, it was like she'd rebooted her entire life. New city, new social circle, new everything. But what was she hiding from? Sources insist this secret Chicago chapter served a very specific purpose, one that would shock the world if ever confirmed.
Had her mother, and her mother has looked after her children enormously for a very long time. So she.
And here's where the gossip bomb drops. People close to the Giuliano family claim that during this mysterious Chicago stay, Meghan allegedly had a baby. Yes, a baby. Not in a glitzy Hollywood hospital, not under a royal spotlight, but completely out of view.
Onto your seats because Prince Harry is about to take you on a wild ride. Forget royal duties, global diplomacy, or...
According to whispers, this little girl, named Noel, was raised as part of the Giuliano family from day one. And here's the line that still haunts people. Someone close to the family allegedly said, "She was Meghan's before she was ours." Can you imagine? That one sentence alone is enough to set fire to everything we thought we knew.
Prince Harry, once the cheeky royal with a grin that charmed the world, is now pacing the halls of Montecito like a man.
Neighbors who saw Noel grow up said the resemblance was uncanny. Not just, oh, she looks a little like her, uncanny. We're talking strikingly similar features and expressions. As Noel got older, the likeness reportedly became even harder to ignore. And what's even more shocking, the Giuliano family treated Noel as though she had always been there. She was at barbecues, holidays, family events, just seamlessly part of the clan. To the outside world, she was simply Noel Giuliano, no questions asked. But if she really was born in 1995, that would make her nearly 30 years old today. And the whispers don't stop there. Word is, Noel has allegedly become a mother herself, which, if the math adds up, could mean Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, seen by the world as a mom of 2 young kids, might secretly also be a grandmother. Just let that sink in. And just when you think this saga couldn't get any wilder, it does. Meghan's official birth year has been a hotbed of contradictions. Everywhere you look now, it says 1981. Official bios, Wikipedia, news outlets, all neat and tidy. But when researchers dug into older records, things got messy fast. Alumni lists, event programs, and even industry databases sometimes listed her as being born in 1977, or even 1975. Why does this matter? Oh, it matters a lot. Hollywood is full of stars shaving years off their age. Nothing new. But for Meghan, the implications are massive. If she was born in the mid-70s, she wouldn't have been some impulsive teenager in Vegas. She would have been a woman in her 20s making deliberate choices. That alleged baby in 1995, not a frightened teen mistake, but a conscious decision by an adult. Suddenly, the timeline fits like puzzle pieces snapping together. And then came Archie's birth certificate. The moment royal watchers dropped their tea. At first, everything looked normal. Meghan's full name, Rachel Meghan Markle. Then, weeks later, a stunning revision. Her name disappeared, replaced with the vague title, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Officials brushed it off as routine paperwork, but veteran royal correspondents weren't buying it. No royal birth certificate had ever been changed like this before, and if you can alter a certificate in 2019 under global scrutiny, imagine what could have been erased or rewritten in the dusty files of the 1990s. Now let's talk eyewitness accounts, because while paper can be edited, memories can't. Neighbors from that Chicago era recall a little girl suddenly appearing at Giuliano family gatherings in the mid-90s. They didn't press questions. She blended in seamlessly, but the timing lined up perfectly with Meghan's mysterious gap. Year one neighbor summed it up simply. There was this sweet little girl who became part of their family. Noel wasn't treated like a guest. She had her own seat at dinners, her own chores, her own space in the family. But when anyone casually asked about her background, family members would smoothly change the subject. Not defensively, just protective, as if there was something too private to reveal. Then there's Trevor Engelson, Meghan's ex-husband. He dated her right after that secretive Chicago chapter. If anyone knows the truth, it's him. But here's the twist. Despite their messy breakup, Trevor has stayed silent. No tell-all, no scandalous interviews, nothing. The only thing people recall him ever saying, Meghan's story has way more complexity than people realize. And then, silence, which honestly only adds more intrigue. And now, let's zoom out to the bigger picture. Meghan's brand. She has spent the last decade building herself up as the authentic royal outsider. The American actress turned duchess, the mom breaking barriers, the woman redefining reigning royalty. Every deal, from Netflix to her lifestyle ventures, hinges on that image. Fans don't just buy her projects, they buy into her as a person. But imagine the fallout if Noel, now nearly 30, suddenly stepped forward. Imagine if Trevor finally broke his silence. This wouldn't just be another celebrity scandal. It would shake the royal narrative to its core. Because how do you market yourself as a first-time mom while quietly being a grandmother? How do you keep pushing the authenticity card if there's an entire hidden chapter of your life you've never acknowledged? And let's be honest, Palace PR is good at handling affairs, money scandals, even political blunders. But this, a duchess secretly being a grandmother? There is no royal playbook for that. Every day Meghan stays silent, the rumors only grow louder. Every glossy interview, every carefully curated anecdote about motherhood now carries a shadow of doubt. People start asking, what else hasn't she told us? And here's the dangerous part. Meghan has thrived by controlling her story. She decides what the public hears and when. But if there really is a sealed-off chapter, a daughter, a hidden family, all that control could vanish overnight. Imagine the internet frenzy. Social media dissecting every photo, every quote, every timeline inconsistency. Every parenting story she's told suddenly re-examined under a harsher light. And in today's world, once a rumor catches fire online, no legal team or PR machine can put it out. So the ultimate question is this: is Meghan Markle's life story the greatest reinvention in modern history, or is there a bombshell revelation still waiting to explode? Think about it. If Noel truly exists, Meghan could already be a grandmother while still marketing herself as a millennial mom. If those archived documents ever surface, if that missing year in Chicago is exposed, the entire world would see Meghan not as the woman who rewrote the royal rulebook, but as someone who rewrote her own history. And maybe that's the most shocking part of all.